working?
Oh, yeah, it's working, yeah. That's fine. Good morning. I'm Dr. Aamir Ayub. I'm one of the consultant cardiologists in Manchester. Graduated from Pakistan some years back. I'm now living here. And I want to present to you FAMS, Financial Assistance for Medical Students. I'll start with this statement, which was made by University Health Sciences, one of the largest body that overlooks admissions into medical schools in Pakistan. And this is what they said on their website, that the students coming from deprived areas who are reading on mats and under trees did far better than the students from posh medical, the other institutions in Pakistan, major cities. But they faced financial problems. And this statement was not plucked out of a quote or anything. This was on their website, and this was after a result which came out of this national competitive exam, a very competitive exam that takes place before you get into medical school. The student who topped was a girl student from Rahim Khan, a very remote, small town in Pakistan. The second, again, a girl student from another remote area in Pakistan, Gujarat. And the third was a boy from Rahim Khan, again, a very remote area. These small towns, which these students belong to, out of 24 hours, 18 hours, there is no electricity. So you can imagine how these students worked hard under candles and lanterns to compete at national level. What is the background of these students? These students had come from families where the average monthly income would be 35 pounds. The professions of the parents would again be very humble. And in Pakistan, I can assure you, they come from very humble backgrounds, and mostly again from very deprived areas. These are the real lifetime scenarios. So these students, once they get into medical schools, what happens to them? In the very first year, they fall out because they can't pay the fee. One student left and joined his father in a shop and said he can't continue the medical school. One student was taking one meal a day to save money for the fee. Taking the loan out to pay fee, and there are no bank loans. These are personal loans from your acquaintances. Son of rickshaw driver, and one student who had A-level exam was so bright that at the A-level his fee was exempted so that he can get into medical school. So what's the problem? This is the problem, that when they get, these bright students, when they get into medical school, they're asked to pay 600 pounds, which includes their tuition fee, hostel fee, and the mess charges, which is the food and everything. Now, 600 per annum, which includes all these, may not be a big figure here in London. But just to revert back to the previous slide, where these parents were earning 35 pounds per month. And if you have 35 pounds per month, just imagine you're asked to pay 600 pounds to send your child to medical school. Back in 2006, the medical school, the Route 20 Medical School from where I graduated, I was contacted to help these students. I was given the scenarios that I showed you just now, and I said, this is the best way to contribute back. So we launched financial assistance for medical students with the help of some of my colleagues, with one motto: no student should be deprived of his medical studies just because he cannot afford to pay. We obviously did not want this to be an organization that just gives money. There has to be a robust selection process. We registered it as a UK charity, and then after that, made sure that every medical school has a selection committee headed by the head of the institution and faculty members, at least two professors, either the professor of medicine, professor of surgery, and the head of the department. The students would be shortlisted strictly on merit, interviews would be done, and only the most deserving will get through, and we never pay anything into any personal account. It goes directly into a college account. We keep in touch with these students. You can appreciate that they come from a very humble background. But these are the students who top at national level to get into medical schools. Every year, our budget is increasing. The fee is increasing, and so is the amount that we have to pay. And last year, we paid more than 18,000 pounds simply as tuition fee, hostel fee, for all the admissions. We take pride in this thing. We have no office, we have no staff, we have no salaries to pay. There are no transport charges, no fancy brochures, And we only got our website last year because we said we're not going to pay for a website. So one journalist person came through, made a website and said, I will pay, and here's your website, because we made a pledge, will not pay anything apart from the student fee, from the funds we get. From 2006 up till now, there has been a steady progress. We have now, at the moment, 40 students enrolled in FAN scholarship program. 14 of them are girls. We are across 9 medical colleges across Pakistan. 14 students have so far qualified to become doctors. This is what happens from the students to become doctors. You may recognize some of these from the earlier picture I showed you, sitting with me when they joined as students. Here they are as doctors working in the hospital. What have we given them? What is the reward? A respectable lifetime career. They give their name as a doctor. They can use doctor throughout their life and they have a respectable career. Support for the siblings. We asked them, what do you want to do once you become doctors? They said, I want to educate my brothers and sisters who have no chance, because these students are one and only in their families who have ever made to this level. And what else happens? They go back to their areas and support the population and provide the health care to them. I think this is the best way to contribute, because these people who are coming from remote areas, nobody from the bigger cities will ever go back to those remote areas to work as doctors. But if you can educate and make doctors to those people who are from those remote areas, they will definitely go back and help their population. We believe that we can plan for a lifetime, we can educate one member of the family who educates others, and then helps the population from where they have come from those remote areas where out of 24 hours, 18 hours, there is no electricity. Thank you very much, and I hope I can convince you to help us.